I've gotten over 400 questions about the DJI MAVIC Mini from you guys. I read through all of them and narrowed it down to what I believe are the most important questions, along with the questions that are rarely answered on YouTube, if at all. So let's get right into it. Question number 1, how's the MAVIC Mini in wind? Is it stable? The MAVIC Mini is fine if it's a little windy, say about 15 miles per hour. But when it gets to 20 miles per hour, you notice a little shake. And for me, shaky footage doesn't cut it. So as a general rule, I wouldn't advise using the MAVIC Mini in a day with winds above 15 miles per hour, especially with strong wind gusts. Question number 2, is there a better cord than the cords that come with the MAVIC Mini so I can connect to my phone or my iPad more easily? Yes, the cord I use is about 1 foot long and is less than $10. It will allow you to easily use your MAVIC Mini with a tablet or tablet holder, and also will last longer because it doesn't get pinched on the side when the controller folds up. There are cords like this one available for different types of devices. I highly recommend a longer cord, and I have provided links to these cords in the description below. Question number 3, do I have to register the MAVIC Mini? Well, it depends which country you live in. Now, the laws could change in the upcoming future, but for now, in the United States, you don't have to register your MAVIC Mini if you fly it out of the box like it is, because it's under 250 grams at takeoff. If you add the propeller cage, a light, or a filter, however, it will have to be registered since it's 250 grams or more at takeoff. Question number 4, can I fly the MAVIC Mini anywhere? You still have to abide by the laws in your country and location where you're flying your MAVIC Mini. Question number 5, can the MAVIC Mini follow me? Will it get active track with a firmware update? The MAVIC Mini can sort of follow you. As of this video, there are 4 quick shot modes or intelligent flight modes. 2 of these quick shots are circle and helix, which allow the drone to lock in on you and go around you. You can move around the drone and it will stay locked in on you. However, any fast or abrupt movements causes the drone to lose you, so it's nowhere near as good as active track or follow me on other DJI drones. I doubt DJI will add active track to the MAVIC Mini with firmware updates because the MAVIC Mini doesn't have obstacle avoiding sensors. Therefore, this would present too many potential problems when using active track. And DJI doesn't want to deal with thousands of insurance claims from crashed drones using active track. Question number 6, do you think a firmware update will allow the MAVIC Mini to shoot 4K or RAW or other features? No, I don't think we're going to see 4K video or RAW photos with the MAVIC Mini, unfortunately. It would hurt DJI's sales with the MAVIC Air, and it also be hard to justify the low price. Question number 7, how durable is the MAVIC Mini? If it hits an object, like a tree, do I have to repair it or buy a new drone? Well, if you hit a tree or hard object, there's a good chance you're going to break an arm or damage the MAVIC Mini's gimbal. For this reason, I would advise buying the DJI Care Refresh insurance when you activate your drone. It will save you money and a headache if you ever crash your drone, since repairs will most likely cost much more than the insurance and deductible. Now, with that said, if you use the propeller cage, you can fly the MAVIC Mini freely and don't have to worry about crashing into anything. When using the propeller cage, I've crashed my Mini into trees, causing it to fall to the ground. Now, just turn off the drone and turn it on, and it should work fine. If you think you might hit something, use the propeller cage, and I would recommend always using the propeller cage when flying indoors. Question number 8, should I get the MAVIC Mini or the MAVIC Air? If you can afford it, get the MAVIC Air. It just has better video quality, shooting 4K at 100 megabits per second rather than the MAVIC Mini's 2.7K at 40 megabits per second. The Air handles wind better than the Mini, has obstacle avoiding sensors in the front and back, and has intelligent flight modes. However, if you're on a budget, I would recommend the MAVIC Mini combo rather than the MAVIC Mini by itself, because the combo comes with 3 batteries and a propeller cage, which you'll likely need. Question number 9, how accurate is the return to home point function, and does it return to home automatically when the drone loses connection or the battery gets low? Okay, that's a good question. The return to home button works very well and is similar to other DJI drones. It will rise to the altitude set and return to home, landing within a couple meters of the takeoff point. And yes, when the battery is low, the MAVIC Mini will return to home. But when the Mavic Mini loses connection, it will not come home automatically. For that, I use the controller bringing the Mini toward me until it gains signal again. This is one reason why you should make sure to always keep the Mavic Mini in a line of sight. And just to be clear, you can fly the Mavic Mini with just the controller and no device. Question number 10. Because it doesn't have landing gear, is there a problem landing the Mini in grass? Or is it better to have it land in your hand? I would recommend landing the Mavic Mini in your hand. Now make sure your arm is stretched out and the Mini is directly above your hand when landing. Also make sure your hand and fingers make a straight, flat landing surface for the Mini. This is much easier and safer for landing the Mini than trying to catch it in your hand. If you take off in grass or sand, however, I recommend using the PGY Tech landing gear extensions for the DJI MAVIC Mini so that your gimbal and camera aren't damaged during takeoff or landing. This landing gear is inexpensive and I put a link to it in the description below. Question number 11. Is the MAVIC Mini kid friendly? And at what age could a kid fly the MAVIC Mini? Yes, the MAVIC Mini is kid friendly. However, it depends on the age and maturity of your child. If your drone is 0.55 pounds or more at takeoff, meaning you fly with a propeller cage or other accessory, the person who registers the drone must be at least 13 years old, at least here in the United States. So if your child is younger than 13, I would advise being with them every time they fly the drone. If they are 13 years or older, I would use your best judgment. You know your child best. If you bought your son or daughter my DJI Drone Pro video course and they follow the safety precautions in my course, they'll be able to fly without crashing or running into other problems. Now with that said, at the very least, I would recommend watching your child fly the first few times before allowing them to fly on their own. Question number 12. How is the signal strength? And how far can I realistically fly the Mavic Mini in the city and also in the country? Now, since the Mavic Mini runs on enhanced Wi-Fi, it can't go as far as other DJI drones that use OcuSync or Lightbridge. I've noticed that when flying my Mavic Mini, I can go a lot farther when I use the Mini by itself rather than when I fly with the propeller cage on. Now leave a comment below if you had a similar or different experience. I recommend always doing a compass calibration before flying the Mavic Mini and make sure there are no obstacles such as big buildings or trees between you and the drone. This will help ensure you have the best signal strength possible where you're flying. Now in a city with a lot of buildings or in the countryside with a lot of trees, I usually get about a quarter mile or so and then the drone starts to get a weak signal. Question number 13. Can I fly the Mavic Mini at high altitudes? Can I fly it while it's snowing? Well, I've flown my Mavic Mini in the mountains of Vermont, which are a few thousand feet above sea level, and I haven't had much of a problem. I tried flying in snow for a few minutes and a warning popped up on my screen in the DJI Fly app. When I landed the drone, I noticed the snow moisture had accumulated on the drone, the motors, and the propellers. In the same conditions, with my Mavic 2, however, the propellers whisked away the moisture because they're strong and fast enough to do so. Thus, I wouldn't recommend flying the Mavic Mini if there is any snow or precipitation outside. Question number 14. How good is the Mavic Mini flying over water? Well, I've flown low over water at least a dozen times with my Mavic Mini, and I haven't had a problem. This has included all sorts of weather. Now, with that said, I would always keep the drone in close sight when flying over water, and I wouldn't do so on a windy day. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, I made a free drone gear guide that I think you're going to like a lot. I included all different drones in different budgets, and I also included my favorite accessories and apps. You can download that free drone gear guide right over there. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend. I'm Garamella, the Drone Pilot Pro, and remember, siempre pa'lante, nunca para atrás.